watching WeAllBe News Radio, News Free Dixie for the 21st century. I'm Thaddeus Matthews.
I want to talk about, Judge, I'm going to talk about the Memphis stuff. I got a case for you. I got to get your expert opinion on this case. This is making its way right now. I don't know if you heard about it or not, about this gentleman. Two guys got into a deadly shooting on 3rd Street on Monday. Have you heard about that case?
Yes. I need more details before.
Okay, I'll give you more detail. Yes, sir. So this is the guy's name is Elliott Nelson. I think it's showing on the screen.
Yes.
You know, he's charged with 2nd-degree murder. But here's the thing. I actually know of him. He has a reputation, not a bad reputation, but he's a master barber. And also he's a very talented, creative personality. He does poetry and music. But he got an interesting taste for all this stuff. But he's a really brilliant guy. It seemed like he keep to himself. So a lot of people were shocked when this came out. But I'm gonna read a little bit and also read what they're saying on social media. I want to get your input on it, Judge. It says a live video posted on social media shows the moments leading up to a deadly shooting in South Memphis. This is from Fox 13. Memphis police said they were called to South 3rd Street after 3 p.m. Monday afternoon, October 13th. The man who was shot died later at the hospital. Police identified the shooter as 50-year-old Elliott Nelson. He is charged with 2nd-degree murder. Fox 13 investigates found this was not the first time the two men encountered each other. Sources identified the man killed as Antonio Smith. An affidavit from January 2025 lists Nelson and a woman as victim in an aggravated assault case where Smith was the alleged suspect. It says Smith repeatedly swerved in the lane Nelson was in, and Smith also pointed a gun at the two as they were driving on I-240. Smith was indicted for the crime in August. Michael Working of the Working Law Firm is not associated with these cases, but he watched the video of Smith from Monday's shooting. He told Fox 13 the fact that the shooter was in the car could be used as a defense in the case. The question would be whether self-defense is applicable, and the law is that Tennessee residents are presumed reasonable in the exercise of deadly force if they're within their vehicle, Working told Fox 13. He added the two men knowing each other could also help both the prosecution and the defense. It's certainly a factor both ways. Number one, the state can argue that this man knew what he was doing, he said. The defense would be able to argue that these two men had a long history together. And that is why the defendant shooter was scared and presumed reasonable in self-defense. As of Tuesday evening, Nelson was not assigned a bail amount. I think a bail amount was like $300,000 right now at one point. But I also want to read some of the stuff that people have been saying online in social media, because I think it's very important. And Judge, I just want to get your thoughts on that. Let me see if I can find on this Facebook thing. And you know it's about a woman. You know that, right, Judge? This is about a woman. And from what I've been reading, let me see if I can find it. Now, if I'm gonna show the guy Facebook page, the Smith guy, you go by Little Tony, who he did. I'm gonna show you what he got on his Facebook page. He got this right. He got this. He did this on the day he died, I think. Making like he's gonna trigger by Elliott Nelson. Like they say,
I can't hear you.
Oh, wait a minute. Can you hear me now? Let me see. Can you hear me? Let me see, Judge. Wait a minute. Hey, Judge, can you hear me now? You can't hear me? You might have to come back in. Okay, I can't
hear you.
You can't hear me. So I guess you can come in and out. I'll get you hopefully Judge can come back in. So Judge's gonna come back in, but I just want to read it. This is a very important story because it been coming across my social media, and people are trying to get people to talk about this story more in depth than what the news organizations have been talking about this story. I actually know this guy Elliott. I don't know him well. I know of him. I've seen him perform. He's a great performer. He does a lot of poetry and comedy, and he's a very talented musician and a master barber. So this was a shock for a lot of people because Elliott is kind of like he's eccentric in his own right. He's brilliant, but it was surprised to hear him get caught up in the situation like he got caught up in this past week with this murder, the second-degree murder charge, right? But what I want to do is do a deep dive with the judge, hopefully come back on. But this the guy page that Elliott is charged with his death. The guy seemed to be very obsessed with Elliott Nelson from this post. He said something, Elliott Nelson blocked me from this page. Okay, and said he got police on me to protect himself. Lenny Kane just told me, wow. He posted this October 13th, Monday at 12:19 p.m. Little did he know that he'll be dead in less than 3 hours, I think. Little did he know. Hope we get the judge back on. But he posted, that's one of the last posts he did. And also he did a live showing.
Can you hear me?
Judge, can you hear me? Judge.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It's strange whenever something gets interesting, I cut.
I just try to go with the flow because they doing a lot to me, man. I just like they feel like they shadow banning me all types. This is weird, Judge. This is a lot of interesting stuff. But I was talking about the guy.
I just got suspended from X.
That's crazy.
They said I'm a bot masquerading as Judge Joe Brown. You know,
the real deal,
effectively. Yeah. Like, damn.
You been on X for forever, man.
Yeah, permanently banned from Facebook, and I've never posted anything. And they tell me that they don't like what I was saying on X, talking about lack of free speech. I don't post pornographic stuff, you know.
I mean, you post the truth is porn for these people. The truth is porn, but real porn they'll keep. But the truth, because truth don't take sides. It is what it is. The truth stands on its own. So when you tell that truth, it is what it is. But this guy right here, right, the alleged victim.
Here, I tried 42 capital murder cases as a lawyer, and a bunch of second-degree murders. Used to train the capital defense team for the public defender's office. Here's what I'd say. The charge to the jury is, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defendant is here charged with a homicide. He has entered a plea of not guilty and claimed self-defense of either himself or of a third party. If the defendant finds himself in a situation when confronted by the now deceased assailant in which he had a reasonable belief that he was to be subject to serious bodily injury or death, he has a right to defend himself or any third person similarly situated. He may even use deadly force. All of the facts and circumstances can be considered by you in determining whether or not he acted in a reasonable fashion when he responded with his use of deadly force. As long as he honestly believed that he was in danger of suffering death or serious bodily injury, he may use deadly force in his defense or defense of a third person. This applies even if he was mistaken as to the circumstances, so long as it was an honest mistake. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you may also consider the propensity for violence that the defendant before you knew of the deceased. You may consider that in determining whether or not for him his use of deadly force was reasonable. And then you go on and you talk about when there are firearms involved, it takes but an instant to press the trigger. And death is then on its way in a fashion too quick to react to. So a person does not have to wait until he or she is fired upon. When the deceased assailant makes what we call in law a furtive movement, which is something that would cause a reasonable person to believe that that individual is immediately going to present a firearm under certain circumstances, as puts you in an intractable position where there's nothing else you can do. You don't have to wait till he shoots at you. You don't even have to wait until he's fully pulled his weapon. When it looks like he's going for one or he is about to, you may take action. I broke the last part down in layman's terms. In other words, dude's drawing down on you. You don't have to wait till he pulls his gun out like Gunsmoke did on TV 60 years ago. You know, you don't have to get in the second shot, because if you don't get the first in, it may not be a chance. You know, even subsonic bullets moving 850 feet per second, 1,000, 2 1,000, 850 feet. You know how far that is? That's 2.5 times the length of a football field, in 1,000, 2 1,000, and you standing 5, 6, 10 yards away. You ain't got no time.
Nah, that's a magic bullet right there. Well, I gotta.
No, that's just a subsonic. That's a subsonic 45. See, if you shoot 9mm, you're shooting 1,100 feet per second. Generally, 1,100 feet per second. 300 feet is the length of a football field. That's 100 yards. It takes 1 second for, guess what? Very few, you know, that's 3 football fields.
Right, that's crazy to think about. But still, guns, I don't believe in banning guns. With all that said, I don't believe in banning.
No, I'm
anything could be a weapon.
Guns.
Yeah, I don't believe in.
Yeah, why does the United States Defense Department, or Department of War, as they're calling it now, old War Department, have all the B-52s, B-1s, B-2s, F-22s, F-35s, M1 tanks, M2, M3 Bradleys, nuclear submarines, and nuclear aircraft carriers, and Arleigh Burke destroyers? Because people kill each other. So the best way to not get killed is to have a deterrent you can pose against somebody who's going to do you in. So if you got a collection of individuals doing this, it makes no sense if you know you live in the murder capital of the United States of America, the 10th most dangerous city in the whole world, with the proclivities of the whole world. Remember, this is number 10 in the world now. You got to be a damn fool to be talking about, hey, we need to get all of the guns out of the hands of everyone. And if we just made it illegal, all of the criminals will follow the law for the first time in life. You damn fool. You want to disarm yourself when somebody's trying to take you out? You got to have lost your mind.
But you know what, Judge, like with this case right here, I want to say, well, in defense of the defendant, allegedly the guy
I was giving him his defense.
Oh yeah, so you gave him proper defense.
Proclivity.
Yes, sir, I would put it like
the
people not understand.
For violence, you know.
I'm talking about people in the chat.
There's a presumption of innocence, you know. You mean the people in the back.
Yeah, well, what they claim is that he was in his car, like the lawyer said, he could be in your car and stand your ground. The guy actually punched him several times in the face, and he had the guy's nieces and nephews in his car. They were coming from Little Caesars, from my understanding. But the thing about it is, his brother died, I believe, back in 2020, tragic case. And I believe his brother's baby mama got with Elliott, who used to cut both of their hairs. Like, he used to cut their hair, the brother and his dead brother hair. From what I get from the social media, it's like a lot of confusion. But I want to read this right quick off the social media, what they said. They said they got some firsthand info about Elliott Nelson case for those who actually care to know the truth. This is from De'Ara Lewis. She posted this. She said, "Here are the facts." Maybe I could share it. I'll share the screen. Cause, like, this is the power of the media, because they didn't do a deep dive into this. And my understanding, there's been a lot of retribution behind this. Like Elliott house allegedly got shot up by the family members of the deceased. Allegedly, they shot his house up. They intimidated some of his relatives from visiting him in the hospital. He accidentally shot himself in the process of shooting the guy. And so, like, I just want to read what they're saying about the facts of the case right quick, just for the record, and to put it out there, because nobody's really covering the case outside of what the news have stated. They say, here are the facts. The situation started. I think I got the right one. Okay, yeah, that's the right one. The situation started back in 2023. The man had been stalking and threatening Elliott for years. He said he had money on Elliott's head. It's on his Facebook page. They closed it out to the public now. In January 2025, he even threatened to assault Elliott's daughter. Is on Facebook too. Go to look. You can't look at it because they closed it off. You can see that part where he talking about stalking and taunting Elliott on his cover page. Elliott and his girlfriend already had a restraining order against him, but the man kept driving past their home, following them, and making threats on social media. His girlfriend even contacted, this the guy's girlfriend now, contacted the DA's office, asking if there was anything they could do to stop him from posting. I guess that's Elliott's girlfriend. The DA said no, claiming it was protected speech as long as it wasn't a direct threat. When they asked if Elliott could respond on social media, they were told he could. Go look at his page. Elliott didn't start making videos about the situation until about a month ago. And then they talk about the day, October 13th, 2025, what actually happened.
Okay. You know what the message is on that?
What's that?
You go around selling wolf tickets, somebody might buy a book of them to the premiere performance and demand an encore and a curtain call. And as far as the relative thing goes, one of the classic murder cases, first-degree murder cases in front of me, I wasn't a lawyer. I think Tariq Sugarman was judge down at juvenile court when he was a public defender. It mistried on a hung jury the first go around. And what happened was the state was prosecuting this 67-year-old man who was in the midst of holding a fundraiser for a local high school to buy athletic uniforms. And his brother-in-law showed up mad because he had just gotten out of the penitentiary and found that the 67-year-old was telling all of the rest of the family members to stay away from him. He was bad news. So he threatened the guy, said he'd be back. He showed back up, ripped his shirt off for dramatic purposes, according to the multiplicity of witnesses, had a Glock stuck down in the front of his pants, pulled it out, pointed at him, said he was going to kill him. Well, the 70-year-old had gotten his .357, put it in his back pocket. And when the guy waved the gun up for emphasis, the 67-year-old shot him. Bam! So he falls down. He's walking away. He says, son, you made me shoot you. It's your fault. So as he's walking away, the shot person's mother, who is the defendant's mother-in-law, grabs him, said, look out, baby, he's trying to shoot you in the back. So he shoves the mother aside as this fool is shooting at his own mama and him. And there are 5 people who've come over to back him up. They're standing about 10 yards back, 15 yards back, and they pull out their Glocks and start shooting at the defendant and his mother-in-law, who is the mama of the deceased. Well, this is supposed to be on a concrete apron. And the guy is laying on his left elbow, shooting with his right hand at the defendant and his own mama. 4 bullets go through high on his back, low, and completely penetrate him, right? Okay, he falls over, he's dead. Or he rolls over, he's dead. So the 67-year-old gets all of the high school students out of the way, some children out of the way, his wife out of the way, who is the sister of the deceased, his mother-in-law, who is the mother of the deceased. They all testify for him, but the idiot prosecutors are trying to prosecute him for first-degree murder because the four individuals that they bring in as witnesses say that the defendants did shoot him in the chest. That wasn't offensive. But as he's laying there on the ground moaning, they say he shoots him in the back 4 times. If the bullets go straight through him and hit concrete, where are the marks of the bullets hitting the concrete? Either the lead smears or the brass that tends to evaporate when that happens. Nothing. So right back where these guys are is a pile of empty 9mm cases, about 17 or 18 of them. They shot their own man. All of these guys have just gotten out of the penitentiary for doing time for armed robbery and attempted murder. So the state has got the innocent 67-year-old who owns this apartment complex, who's raising money for a high school, who is being testified for by the victim's mother and the victim's sister. And he just got out the penitentiary, and everybody says he comes up flashing the Glock. So you see, that was stuck on stupid for the prosecution to even bring the people in. Meanwhile, some detectives show up wanting the 4 witnesses for armed robberies that they've been pulling off. And from their perspective, the witnesses shot and killed the defendant. Not the defendant, killed the victim, not the defendant. So that's how stupid it is. So we elected Steve Mulroy to be the district attorney general. So let's see how he handles this case. I think the man needs to be out of jail on what you're saying. And I don't think his bond needs to be $300,000, because this is not the one to go jack up trying to show you tough on crime. It's all those other thugs you've been letting out on their promise to show up without even having a pre-trial release report on them that shows they're likely to appear. This man has ties to the community, and there is a certain degree of righteousness that appears to be implied by what you state. I don't know. I'm not a witness. I'm not giving anybody any legal advice. I'm just stating my opinions on the law. And the other thing is that, hey, you're presumed innocent until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And it sounds like this guy has caught hell from the victim for the longest time.
I think it's like because he's with his dad brother's girlfriend or baby mama. That's what I'm getting from the story is, like, you know, him being with the woman that's his dad brother's girl, whatever. He couldn't let it go.
That same thing with the Tyree Nichols case, according to the street allegations. So, you know, supposedly the deceased in that matter, the Nichols matter, was involved with baby mama and wife or wives of some of the cops. So, I mean, I don't know how true that is. I'm retired. It's not.
Yeah, it's like it was a personal thing, though, Judge. It had to be personal. It seemed like a personal thing.
It looked
like he was so sickly that he had to die like that. Because he just, if it was like, I ain't saying nobody should get an ass beating like that, but I'm saying if he didn't have the disease thing, or maybe he would survive.
That Crohn's disease.
Crohn's disease.
I'm not. Yeah. He would have lived. He just had his butt whipped. And supposedly, and other thing too, Mulroy apparently didn't know what he was doing. See, he should have charged him with murder in the first degree, murder in the perpetration of a felony, 2-wit aggravated assault, which is what it looks like they intended to administer to the guy anyway for personal reasons, not as they are hyping it. The Democrats around here as random cops run into random citizen on the street and randomly act a fool. No, it looks like, from what I've seen, the allegations are heard, they were looking for him because, you know, or another woman or a woman is involved. And what you're telling me is, so what if his ex-girlfriend wants to go with somebody else? That doesn't give him a right to go harass
his dad brother's girlfriend, his dad brother's girl.
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't give him a right to harass somebody in perpetuity. You know, hey, back off. You can take the most docile dog or animal and goad them into attacking.